Hello everyone, this is Neronium. Welcome back to Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. Last time we finished up the 358 over 2 days worlds. And now it's time we get more into the Kingdom Hearts 2 worlds, starting with the Mysterious Tower. Now, as you can see, this is another one of the songs that requires you to play on beginner mode. One of the few songs in the game that the 3rd star stipulation requires beginner mode. I hate it. Why? You're going to see just how easy beginner mode is. Look at this. And this is after me coming from, at this point, having spent an hour and a half on Vector to the Heavens. And I didn't spend that long on another side battle version, actually. Like, nothing was even close to the amount of time I spent on Vector to the Heavens. And again, the Vector to the Heavens from the last part was because I wanted it to be special. I love Days. I love 358 over 2 days a lot. It's a good game. I don't care what people say. I like it. But enough on Days. We got the Kingdom Hearts 2. Electric Boogaloo. Going back into what I briefly touched upon for Kingdom Hearts 2's playthrough. When I was doing the playthrough, I mentioned this in the last part that I was using my PlayStation 2. I was using the, I think it's Xanadu was the user's name? Xanadu 65 or something like that? Or is it Xandus? Either way, they created the patch for Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, and that was the version I played on my actual PlayStation 2. But for my PlayStation 2, the backup I had made broke down around the time the Underdome in Olympus Coliseum ended up starting to act weird. And I think that was when my PS2 was just starting to die in general. So I had to get a new one, and I tried my best to fix it, but I never could. And eventually I got the 9000 model of PlayStation 2, and I thought, okay, I can just put my Swap Magic Flip top cover on it, not knowing that Sony had actually made it impossible to do that on the 9000 models, because they were still making PS2s back then. Which is funny enough, the Switch, let's be honest, the Switch has outsold the PlayStation 2 at this point. I don't care what Sony says. I love the PlayStation 2. But coming out with, oh yeah, the PlayStation 2 has actually sold 160 million, not 155 million, just as soon as Nintendo was close to overtaking the PlayStation 2 with the Nintendo Switch. No, that's just Sony being petty. Like, you don't find 5 million PlayStation 2s when you have yourself said you do not make the PlayStation 2 anymore since 2012. That was when PS2 stopped being manufactured. PS3s actually were manufactured, I think, until 2016. Either way, it's dumb. It's a little more current event thing that Sony did, which again dates this video, but I don't care. I wanted to bring that up because it's just so dumb. I love the PS2, all respect to the monolith, but no, you don't find 5 million PS2s out of anywhere. Besides, the fact that Nintendo has managed to make a device that's sold even as close as the Wii. Well, the Wii was outsold. Well, no, the PS2 was technically still the best-selling console of all time, and according to Sony, still is. But the DS, original DS, and really all the DS family for that matter, not the 3DS, was for the longest time the best-selling handheld. But now the Switch can have its own thing, and what a turnaround from the Wii U. I loved the Wii U. I had one before they put the price drop. In fact, a week before the price drop. I'm still mad to this day that they did a price drop on the Wii U, and a week later, a week after I had bought mine for full MSRP. And what was even worse, they didn't do a 3DS Ambassador Program sort of thing for it, which really sucks. God, I'm not even talking about the Kingdom Hearts playthrough anymore. So Kingdom Hearts 2, for the playthrough, I had to go back to basically what I did for Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix, and I had to start translating it in the editor itself, which luckily was a lot easier because I was using Sony Vegas at the time. I believe I was using Sony still owned it. It would have been Sony Vegas 14, or was I still using 11 back then? Because I used Sony Vegas for the longest time, up until they were sold off to Magix. I think the last project I edited in that software, like, I think was God, what was it? I can't think of what that project was, because Magix Vegas 18 was the last version I used before I switched over to Pinnacle Studios. God, no, you can never make me go back to Pinnacle Studios. Seriously, never make me go back to Pinnacle Studios. That's awful. The only good thing about Pinnacle Studios back then was they had a font that was very similar to the font of Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy. So I was able to do a Game Anyone logo that looked like the Jak and Daxter logo, and to this day, I still haven't found that font. And I don't have a way of installing Pinnacle Studios, so I don't even remember which version of Pinnacle Studios it was that I was using with the Dazzle. Either way, I think I was using... I would have had to have been using 11 for Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2 was my third year of doing Let's Plays, I believe. Gotta bring up the studio. I should just have the studio app open the whole time. Not search content. I want to search my playlists. They actually made this so much easier in the YouTube studio app. Kingdom Hearts Final Mix Plus. 2014. So yep, my technically second year of doing Let's Plays. Which in my second year of doing Let's Plays would have made it... I love how basically I have just unlocked enough stars and songs to finish Kingdom Hearts 2 already. Yeah, that's nuts. So, let's complete that proper. And now for Waltz of the Damned. Yeah, I would have had to have been using Vegas 11 back then. Because I remember I was very much behind on the technology front because back then Let's Plays were still kind of a niche thing. Like, they were getting more popular, but they were still more of a niche thing. And what I had seen from people like Scottish Duck 17, who was one of the ones who convinced me to want to start doing Let's Plays along with Cyberman 65 and I think it was Batman 9502. That's what got me into gaming. They were using, back then for their older playthroughs, Pinnacle Studios for Scottish Duck and Dazzle DVC 100. I didn't know at the time those were outdated cards for 2012, which is why when I finally got the Hop Hog HD PVR2, I still did that. But even then, that was still a very bad card. I mean, for what it was better than the Dazzle DVC 100. I don't even have that Dazzle anymore. I gave that to Sasha Silvermoon, actually. I wish she still did videos. She was another inspiration for me. She was actually the way I first experienced doing the entirety of Final Fantasy XII, because growing up, for Final Fantasy XII, vanilla Final Fantasy XII, mind you, I didn't have Zodiac Age until... I didn't actually get Zodiac Age, Zodiac Job Edition of Final Fantasy XII. I didn't obtain until... This is where I wish PlayAsia still had my record of that. I want to say 2013, 2014 was when I got it. I could be wrong, though. I wish there were more records, but they don't keep the records anymore. Anyway, back to my point. Sasha Silvermoon was the way I experienced through her playthrough of Final Fantasy XII, the end of Final Fantasy XII, because in my original playthrough, I got stuck on Ahriman in the Soshin Cave Palace. And that was the farthest I ever got for the longest time. I didn't even make it to Ridorana. So that was interesting. Scottish Duck is the one who I experienced and actually wanted to get Skies of Arcadia Legends, because I remember when I watched his Skies of Arcadia Dreamcast Let's Play, and I'm like, oh hey, there's a version of the game on the GameCube. I didn't have my Dreamcast anymore at that point when I was watching that series, and I'm like, oh, I can get it on the GameCube. I wonder if any GameStop around me had it, which was kind of hard to see because GameStop was starting to phase out GameCube games by that. This would be 2010, 2011 when I got it, and sure enough, one of the GameStops, the one I actually went to the Kingdom Hearts 3 midnight launch party in my city, actually had it. That one's no longer there, unfortunately. In fact, I think the Kingdom Hearts launch party was the last launch party they ever did before they shut that one down. It was just super lucky, and I got it for $10. Little did I know how expensive that game would get in the future. Like, oh my god, Skies of Arcadia Legends. Batman 9502 was how I experienced the Arkham games. Proton John was how I experienced a lot of classic Mario and Kaizo Mario stuff, because and you've seen it whenever I do 2D side-scrolling platformers, I am terrible at them. And that's because I grew up more with 3D games. So I'm used to the third dimension rather than the second. What else? Jugga Conroy was how I experienced fully Pikmin for the first time. Nintendo Capri Sun was how I experienced... Which one did I experience through Nintendo Capri Sun? And now we can actually fully do Kingdom Hearts 2 for the most part, actually. That's kind of funny. Yep, we can fully do Kingdom Hearts 2. If we wanted to, we could go all the way to Kingdom Hearts 2. Obviously, we're not going to. Here's me going back and like, should I end off? And I'm like, nah, let's keep this session going. I was asking Savarts at the time he was in call with me, what song should I do? And I gave him like the choices, which were Olympus Coliseum, Pride Lands, and Ruler of the Sky? See, there's 2 sky-based Heartless. He chose Timeless River in the end, so we're going to be getting to Desire That Is All That Is Lost, I believe, first. And are we going to be doing... I forget, is it this episode or is it the next episode? Okay, it's this episode. We do Desire for All That Is Lost. And then we'll do Timeless River. Timeless River, oh boy. That's where the game gets hard. Specifically the battle theme for that one. Now going back onto other Let's Players, who else did I watch a lot? I'm trying to think of ones I watched way back then, and not ones I watch now, because I still do watch Let's Plays. Super Gaming Bros actually wasn't one I would start watching until 2015, so that would be after the Kingdom Hearts 2 playthrough. I didn't watch too many because my internet was really bad back then. I could barely watch like an episode or 2 a day of the Let's Players that I mentioned already. So it could have been that. I think that was pretty much it. And I think, honestly, because I do get this a lot, like, nowadays Let's Plays, for those that do still do Let's Plays, because most of the YouTube algorithm favors more so, rather than playthroughs, reaction content. And, like, reaction content to different scenes in games, or different people playing, for that matter. A lot of people, especially in my early projects, I would do a lot of like information dumps because I would try to emulate Jugga Conroy's style. I still kind of do that nowadays, but let's be honest, nowadays not too many people care about the whole information thing because it's very different in the YouTube scene nowadays. And that's why I've actually been told like my Let's Play style is that I still do is a lot like the older ones. And I guess that could be a good or a bad thing, depending on how I take it. Because it's like, you know, it's a good thing because I am staying true to what I want to do. Hello, Dark Thorn. But it's also bad in that I've not really, in a way, evolved. If that makes sense. At least that's how I see it. It's all dependent on how I take it, really. Alright, Monochrome Dreams. This was not the bad one. The next one is, but then we're doing that one in the next episode. I do like the little touches they did with the Kingdom Hearts 2 worlds with Sora, Donald, and Goofy's more, like, varied costumes that they'd have in the world. Like, I miss that. Kingdom Hearts 3 does it a bit, but only really in 2 worlds. Those worlds being Monstropolis, where they go ham with it, and San Francisco. And even then, in San Francisco, all Sora gets is a visor. Which is boring. I like so much more for that. Oh god, hot rods. These are the bane of everyone's existences, especially the ones in the Cavern of Remembrance, which, believe it or not, Cavern of Remembrance is not in this game. And that is a crime. That is one of the best songs in Kingdom Hearts 2, is the Cavern of Remembrance. Or Deep Anxiety, for that matter, isn't in this one. Like, they're probably bonus songs that I might not have unlocked, but they're not in the story mode, is what I mean. Like, they could very well be in this game. And you might think, like, oh, well, it's because they don't have Kingdom Hearts Final Mix songs. No, they have Rage Awakened in this game, and it's in the story mode. Rage Awakened is in the story mode, as is The Other Promise from the Roxas boss battle from Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. So, what the heck? Where's my Cavern of Remembrance? I don't get anything. They don't let me have fun. This sucks. But that deals with Monochrome Dreams. So anyway, everyone, I'm going to end it off right here. This has been Neronium. Next time, we're going to be doing more of the Kingdom Hearts 2 worlds and getting closer to the end. So until then, I'll see you all next time. Next time I break my thumbs, I swear. Old friends, old rivals sucks. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to check out more Kingdom Hearts content, check out the top link for a playthrough of Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, done on the PlayStation 5. And for another rhythm-based game, check out the bottom link for a playthrough of The Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge, done on the PlayStation 2.